Can you target farm for gear in Diablo 4? Well, the answer is yes, a definite yes, and it's not hell tides. You might think of hell tides and farming for cinders and opening up chests specifically for, let's say, weapons, rings, amulets, or any other piece of gear that you're looking for specifically to upgrade your class. But no, that's not the only way, and the most obvious way that we've been slowly building up as we've been leveling up in Diablo 4 is the Curiosities Vendor, which is available in most of the towns. You'll see it by that icon there of the small bag with the coins next to it and the question mark. But how do you farm it? Well, you can farm events to gather up the required obols, which you can then gamble for, like Kadala if you've ever played Diablo 3. If not, then, well, yes, this is the way that you gamble for specific items for each of the slots that you have available. Let's say you're looking for that big upgrade in your amulet. You gotta go to the Curiosities Vendor and use up your obols for this one. This is not the video though. I'll be showing you how to get those obols much quicker using a method of farming a specific cellar within Diablo 4, then coming out of it, and it will be basically reset with an event right outside for you to be able to farm those obols. So you'll be able to target farm, let's say, your amulets or any other piece of gear with the best way possible. But please know that if you are, let's say, under level, I would say at least level 74, I think you'll only be able to see sacred items in the Curiosities Vendor. So it's highly suggested that you save up your obols until you start seeing ancestral items. And these items right here will be rotating in the shop. So each shop will show a different amount of ancestral items available with the white border there on the top, or golden border if it's only sacred. So I would suggest try and target farm the obols first and then get the item that you want through ancestral purchases, right? And not the sacred ones, because that will be obviously the worst decision to do. And it's not a guarantee that the ancestral will be coming in from each purchase, right? It just says that the maximum will be ancestral, and that's how far we know. We've never seen a unique coming out of this from the gambling here in the Curiosities Vendor. So how do you do this? Well, this method specifically uses a bug, right? It is a bug right now where you can actually reset the whole cellar without even logging out and keeping your elixirs available, and the events outside will also be resetting most of the time. That being said, this will not be the only way, since you can obviously be resetting your dungeons on solo by just logging out once you finish the cellar and then logging back in, but that will be you know, wasting your elixirs that way. You're just losing 5% XP. This is not a method to farm XP, but a method to farm gear, really. So first things first, I would suggest go into your sigils, find the lowest that you can, or craft one, let's say in the lower 20s, and that will be the easy way to start with this method. Open it up and go to the nightmare dungeon that you want to, and just kill 1 or 2 enemies in there, and then just exit and go to that specific cellar that I'll show you in just a minute. So once you're in the nightmare dungeon, just kill a couple of enemies, go forward, kill enemies. If you find an elite, that's even better. It doesn't really matter, since now the state of the game pretty much feels like it's saved, and you'll be able to be resetting those cellars over and over again. And I'll show you right now. Let's go over to find a cellar that I've been mentioning as the way to farm the obols. Get yourself to this waypoint right here on the top called the Hidden Overlook. If you don't have that unlocked, you can definitely just ride over there and unlock it just to make things easier for the future, or just ride up on top from the ruins of Kara Yishu. Ride with your horse, go all the way to the top, and you'll see this cellar right here with an event that always will be popping up under it. So this is the cellar, and this is the event that normally pops up. There's multiple different events at an hour interval, so every hour the events here change, with 3 different events available most of the time, is what I've noticed. I didn't farm this for hours upon hours, but I did farm it for some good time, and I've noticed these 3 different types of events, with some being easier, like this one, pretty quick. And look at that, boom, we get 61 murmuring obols and a legendary there, and some yellows, the rares, which I use to just get gold very quickly. I have 26 million gold, and this is a very quick way to just get gold by selling up your items. This is not a way though to farm experience, so if you want to be doing both gold and experience, and not specifically farming obols, then you should be following a different route with maybe a group since this is the best way, honestly, doing this solo, getting your gold, farming gear, and just relaxing. So you go into the cellar. After you did the nightmare dungeon a little bit, it makes it so that once you get out, you'll be resetting the event outside. Sometimes it takes a couple of exits and entrances into the cellar for this to activate. So we go into the cellar. Usually there's going to be some easy enemies for us here. Just take everyone out and the cellar will be complete. You get up your yellows, you get the gold from the ground, and just leave dungeon, right? You leave dungeon. You don't go back to town. Just leave the dungeon. You don't even need to go back to town for anything else. Once we're out, either the event will have reset or we'll just go back in, right? So here, the event has not reset. I didn't see the big circle, so I head back in there. And just to show you, the event within the cellar will have reset for us to do again. With the Sork, it's much quicker to head there since I'll just teleport right down there. But boom. Kill this very quickly. And yeah, last enemy right there. See all these yellows on the ground? These are perfect for gathering up gold. Then I exit. The cellars themselves, I know that you can reset them. They don't give that much of gear or gold by themselves, but it's the events that you want to be targeting, and the events will be popping up here. You see this has not reset yet. There's events sometimes within the cellar, so that's why I'm checking them at the same time. You don't want to be just exiting and entering the cellar. That is kind of inefficient. You just go in here, quickly do the cellar event. If it's something that is longer, you can actually just not do it. But usually the events that pop up within the cellar take like a minute. So it's a good way to get those obels when those events appear. So these are our third time that we enter into the cellar. Should be able to see an event anytime now. And I do not think this has been hotfixed since yesterday that I was doing it, but who knows. So we enter again, and I wonder if I'm gonna see an event here in the cellar. Not yet. It's just the enemies where we have to purge it. You can do this in any cellar where you can find like an event right outside to make things easier for you. But I found this location right here, the best one to do this. And I'm slowly building up items within my inventory, and especially rares. You can use those to upgrade into legendaries, and they're cheaper to upgrade also. So it's kind of the best way for the newer players out there to get some upgrades for their class. So wow, this is the fourth cellar and still this has not reset. Okay, one event within the cellar right now. This is nice. It's gonna be an easy way for us to get some obels. Once that is done, we have like a minute. This is good for XP too, but don't expect anything crazy like millions of XP per hour. You know, tens of millions. This is still okay for XP, but it's better for just the obel farming. Just like that, this event is now complete, and we get another 30 obels, another sacred item here, some ancestrals that I'll check when I get back to town. But really, very solid way to get the gold when you're selling everything, right? And just keeping one or two rares that are potential upgrades. All right, so finally it has reset now, and it's the easy one again. So it should be another very quick 60 obels for me right now. Once the demon's out, there we go. Kill it. Kill some more enemies. Ah, I got stunned there or something. And there it is. Boom, another 60. 5 obels this time. You head back in, and this is the loop basically. That's how you're getting obels. Just remember, it's more expensive to gamble for amulets and rings than it is to gamble for other pieces of gear, such as the bracers, the gloves, or pants. Okay, so have that in mind, that you won't be getting you know, more items. It's a little bit more expensive, and it does make sense since those are really the ones people really look for. The amulets are the ones that you get some nice upgrades, especially if you're a Sork. You're looking for that mana reduction on your skills. So right now, as you saw, I got right outside of this, and another event was being done by another group that is farming this specific spot, it doesn't matter because they could share that with me. I'm not grouped up with them, but I still gathered the opals. I'm at 300 right now. I'm still entering the cellar again. And sometimes when this happens, it's very quick on how you're farming the opals. In like an hour, you can definitely farm 1,000 or 2,000. It really depends on luck whether you find a group right when you're getting outside the cellar. And the same thing happens for them. Like, they'll see you doing the event and will be helping you out. Ooh, another sacred here. It's not just sacreds, by the way. Ancestrals can drop from cellars. It just happened to be for me. So getting right outside here. Now, hopefully, maybe my event has reset. We can show that again. No reset. Just get back in there. There's some other events that take much longer, by the way. There's this blood pillar event where you have to stand. There's 4 pillars. That can take quite longer, so at least 1.5 minutes for you to complete it. So it's not just kill the elite and that will be done, right? So have that in mind. But it's still way quicker than just running around the map and doing the events when you randomly can't find them through the mini map. Okay, so this is a much quicker way of doing things. So I already have almost a full inventory of items. By the time I started recording, it's been less than 20 minutes. I know it's not the quickest way to get the gold, but you have a specific goal, and that is to upgrade your pieces of gear. So we have another event within the cellar. It's the Wandering Soul event. Enemies will just keep popping up for a minute, and once that is done, the event is over. Another very solid way of getting your obols. Once that is done, you see the chest pop up again. Look at that, 30 obols, and I'm actually now full with items. That event was dropping a lot of stuff, but I'll just exit and see if we have an event. If there's no event outside the cellar, what I do with full inventory, I go back, quickly check if I've got an upgrade or not. There's the event. Quickly do this. All right, I'll do this. If a legendary drops, I'll throw a rare on the ground, but look at that. Okay, let's beat this quickly. Okay, there's the elites. Kill that, and that's the event done. So the time I did this recording, I got a full inventory of items, right? Some legendaries, some rares, and I'm at 441 obols, so about 300 obols farmed within the 20 minutes that this recording is. Of course, I'll be editing this out to make it quicker, but I'll go back to town, and this is the method that you want to do. Go back to town quickly. Do not leave town since you lose the portal, right? And if you want to sort through gear very quickly, you click here, the sort. The highest item power item will go to the top left, and the lowest will go to the bottom right. But that is for each item type, okay? So the helmets will be, starting here, and the amulets are on the bottom there. So have that in mind. It's not items regardless of which slot they are for. So there's a few items. I'll quickly sort them through, and press the space bar, guys, when you have the item that you want to be selling. So do this, boom, space bar, and then you quickly go through them. So all of those items were basically trash, so I'll sell them. How much gold do I get? Boom, I get about 700,000 gold. I do sell the legendaries, but if you're in a different position than me, do not sell them. But keep in mind, when you are going to sell, always, quick tip, check the items vendor, because I think I just found an upgrade here. Look at that, 803 item power with teleport rungs, flame shield, mana cost reduction, and then the dexterity, I can change that to probably Frost Nova. So yeah, I'll be buying this and upgrading this. Maybe I'll put out a video for that one. So with the obols that you farm, go find the obols vendor. It's going to be a little bit different in each town, but when you click on teleport, when you are farming the place that I showed you, it sends you over here. So I'll go quickly there to show you on the extra items that you get that you can also sell again for more gold if you don't get anything good. So what I want is probably an amulet. So there's an amulet there. Look at that, ancestral. It costs 60, so I'll get way less than if I gambled for, let's say, boots. But I just found boots that I'll I'll be changing into now. So let's do amulets. And we got quite a few ancestrals here. 770. 746. We got a sacred. Okay. That is alright, but I think I need that power. So I'll keep that. And then this one, 784. It was the best one, but not really good. Good substats, sub-affixes, whatever they're called. So, yeah, that's the video, guys. In about 25 minutes, I farmed a lot of obols, farmed a lot of gold, which I've spent already on those boots. And that is the Diablo way of doing things. If they ever patch this, when you exit the cellar, you have to log out and re-log in. You'll be losing your elixirs, so don't use up elixirs when you do that. And this is the method. I TP back into where I was when I go through my portal. Right, so if this ever gets patched, it would be the same thing. You log back into the game. You're right outside your cellar, which I should be now, because I did teleport. I was using my portal. Blizzard, please. Yeah, okay. This is where I was. There's no event, but I would head back into the cellar, and the cellar would have reset. I go and finish off the cellar, get some quick rewards as I did at the start. But since the bug of resetting the cellar is now gone, when I exit, the cellar will be done and I won't be able to re-enter. Okay, so I'll just exit right now, check for whether there's an event. There's no event, but if I go back in, you see the tick mark there, the cellar will not be available for me to do again, since I have not done the nightmare thing. Okay, and if that is fixed, I'll have to exit and log out, leave game. Okay, re-enter, and when you re-enter, the cellar should be ready to go. And boom, there you have it. I've just logged back in. There is the cellar. Again, with the current bug that exists with the nightmare dungeons, where it saves up where you were when you kill an enemy, it's much quicker. But I wanted to show this part also, since it will, I'm guessing, eventually be fixed by Blizzard. So this is another event with the cellar, so you get more obols through this one. This will take a little bit longer, but again, you're farming for specific slots, and you're not farming just generally for XP and whatever drops, right? You're trying to get your class to the next stage, which would be, like, for me, I want to upgrade my boots, I want to upgrade my amulet. So I found this way of farming, and this is like really solid for you know, target farming gear. Guys, this was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too long for you. If you have any suggestions for different ways to target farm gear, let me know down below in the comments and share it with people you know. It really helps the channel out. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.